Hey, film and game composers. I speak to about 700 or so composers a year about getting scoring work. And you don't do that without starting to see quite a lot of patterns. And I just want to share with you one of the things that I've seen so that it might help you. One of the things I would definitely say to do if you want to get more of that work is spend less time in your music studio. There's a lot of composers out there who think that the better they get, the better work they're going to get. They kind of think that work comes in proportion to the level of skill you have as a composer. Yes, you need to be a certain level. You can't be bad, obviously. We all know that, right? But like past a certain point, it's not the best people that are getting work. Let me give you an example of this that I think we'll all understand, right? I was a drummer for years, and there was a bass player in this circle of musicians back in London when I lived there that would always get work. And he wasn't the best bass player by far, but he was the busiest musician that anyone of us knew in that circle. Anyway, one day we were all kind of sat there before a gig, and one of the guitarists just decides to ask him and says, "Hey, like, why is it that you get so much work, do you think?" And he turns around to him and straight away he points to the guy's guitar and he's like, "It's because your instrument is the guitar." He said, "My instrument is the phone." And it floored us because what we realized was, whereas a load of us would spend hours and hours a day practicing, thinking that that's how we would get the better gigs, he was out there speaking to people, forging friendships, relationships, nurturing those, and getting a whole load of gigs. He was no way near the bass player that there was. So it's a similar thing. Like if you're spending a lot of time in your studio tweaking tracks, doing that kind of thing, like just stop doing that for a bit and start throwing all of that time into trying to find and nurture and develop relationships with people who you can work with, and watch what changes if you really start doing that. At Music for Income, we can help you with those side of things. We have a program called Get Scoring Work that mentors talented composers. We don't teach you how to write. This is not for people who need to still learn how to write great film scores, game scores. If you can already do that and you want to have our mentors help you out with some of the approaches and ways that you can actually start getting work, then there should be a link to a free training in the bio somewhere lurking around here that I'm sure you'll find. But just that one tip I'd love to give you is, like, if you want to get more scoring work, just spend less time in your studio tweaking and doing all that music focused stuff, and start doing more, lots more, getting out there and finding the people and nurturing those relationships and connections to get that work.